So, you want to upgrade your iPhone, but don't know if dropping a pretty penny on it is worth it, huh? Everyone is talking about the new iPhone 11 Pros and how amazing they are with that gargantuan battery and splendid triple camera that is nearing professional level territory. But is it really worth it? Well, if you've had any questions or doubts pertaining to upgrading your iPhone, you have come to the right place, my friend. Welcome. I'm the one and only, and in this video, we'll particularly be looking at the Pro line of iPhones and look at the iPhone 11 separately in its own video, since I feel the iPhone 11 is in a whole different category and arguably is a way better value than the Pros. Whether you have an iPhone 6, a 7, or God forbid an iPhone with a 30-pin connector, this video will be your best friend and your guide to upgrading. And before the intro begins, for all my newcomers to the channel, I want to invite you to join my 10,000 subscriber giveaway, where you can be the lucky winner of a brand new aluminum Apple Watch Series 5. Stay tuned until the end of this video to find out how. Alright, let's roll this intro. So I've spent almost 2 weeks with the brand new iPhone 11 Pro Max and I'm absolutely in love with it. The cameras are phenomenal. The spec bump is small but noticeable. But most of all, that battery though. It's insane. I tested out all the batteries of all the current iPhones in my ultimate battery drain test, and you'd be amazed at how long these phones lasted. If you haven't checked that video out yet, you definitely should. So there are several reasons why you might want to upgrade. Maybe you want a bigger battery, maybe a better camera, or maybe, just maybe, you want that gratifying feeling of unboxing and holding a brand new piece of tech. Whatever the reason, let's get started. We'll start off with cameras, and boy have we come a long way. At first, on the iPhone 2G, the measly little 2-megapixel potato camera on it was atrocious, and that's speaking highly of it. But man, so many of us depend on our current iPhones for our banger Instagram shots or to save a precious memory forever. I won't go far back as the iPhone 2G, since I know for a fact no one who views this video owns one and uses one, but if you do, hit me up because I'll have so many questions. We'll go as far back as the iPhone 6 to the present. And if you divert your attention to this handy dandy chart, you'll be able to see all the specs of the cameras on these phones. We've had single lens cameras, double lens for some time now, and now we arrive at this triple camera stovetop array with a wide angle, an ultra wide, and a telephoto lens being featured on the 11 Pro line. With all respect to Apple, they actually did something right and assembled a camera on this phone that for smartphone standards is near perfect and one of the best in the industry. Where you'll see a massive upgrade is if you come from an iPhone 7 or earlier, not the Plus models. The differences in camera quality is amazing, since most of these lenses are better equipped to handle low light conditions as well as better bokeh effects for those stunning portrait shots. The iPhone 10 and XS family had that dual camera array, and you'll see slight improvements to camera to the 11 Pro, but if you want the best versatility and photography is big for you, upgrading to this triple camera array is a no-brainer. Video quality is also spectacular on the 11 Pro line, and best of all, the front-facing camera is now a 12-megapixel sensor on the new iPhones, so those selfies are going to increase in quality, and who knows, you may pick up those extra followers on the IG that you've always wanted with those newer, crisper selfie portrait shots that you've come to love from your iPhone. If cameras aren't too big of a deal for you, but efficiency and speed is, you'll come to find out that with each iteration of the iPhone, you'll get a stronger and more efficient chipset. We are currently on Apple's custom designed 7nm A13 Bionic chip with 3rd generation neural engine. Each new chipset promises to be superior to the last, promising 20 or 30% speed improvements or whatever Apple claims it to be. I mean, makes sense, right? I doubt they would say that the new chip is slower. This, in turn, makes your phone better equipped to handle multiple applications or augmented reality or gaming, not only better, but more efficiently, helping you to preserve your battery. Battery and chipset just seem to go hand in hand. Honestly, from last year's offering, the XS to the 11 Pro sees very little improvements to speed. On a day-to-day basis, the speed improvements are so minor, most won't even notice a difference. Apps open up slightly faster, gaming is a little smoother on those graphic-intensive games, but planning to upgrade from a XS to the 11 Pros expecting a huge power gain is somewhat silly. Even the iPhone X is still plenty fast, but you do get a 2-generation gap in between chipsets, with the 10 having the A11 and the 1st generation neural engine, so really if upgrading from a 10 or earlier, the jump to the 11 Pro is good, especially if coming from a 6, 6S, or 7 with aging chipsets. And also, One thing to keep in mind is the implementation and support of newer OS is being introduced to the iPhone every year. We are currently on iOS 13, and every year it becomes harder and harder for older phones to perform at peak performance. Think about it this way. With every new model iPhone, it's as if you have a healthy 25-year-old weightlifting 45-pound plates. Easy, right? Well, fast forward 5 years and add an extra 10 pounds to the 45-pound plate. Then fast forward another 5 years and add another 10 pounds. Then another 5 years, and so on and so on. So eventually, do you think a 75-year-old person could comfortably handle all that added weight? Maybe. I'm not discriminating to my older viewers, no sir, but I hope you get the idea. Each new iteration of iOS comes with new features, in this example, the added weight. And the chipset is only getting older, in this example, the passing time. Since I mentioned battery, let's discuss that. What you guys may not realize is that battery and chipset are inseparable and BFFs forever. It doesn't matter if you have a battery the size of a brick. If your chipset is trash and not good at being energy efficient, that battery will drain relatively fast. But typically, a bigger battery does equate to longer use times. Duh. Makes sense. Each iPhone has a different size battery measured in milliamp hours. Here are all the battery sizes, and as you can see, the 11 Pro Max is a behemoth compared to some of the older non-Plus Max model iPhones. Do also keep in mind that lithium-ion batteries are not eternal. Batteries degrade over time, meaning when your battery is brand spanking new, it is at 100% capacity, and let's assume it can last roughly 10 hours on a full single charge. 3 years later, that battery has gone through many cycles and may not hold the same charge, thus having a new max capacity of maybe 70%, now only being able to hold a maximum of a 7-hour charge on a 100% charge. If you have an older iPhone and are suffering from random shutdowns by your phone, it is likely because you have an older battery and it is doing that to protect your battery and internals, according to Apple. Or, what is also very likely is it is just a ruse by Apple to get you to buy new phones. I don't know, I think it's a combination of both, but whatever the case, this is one category I can confidently say that upgrading from older phones with plenty of use makes plenty of sense to get that enormous brand new battery, and you'll see substantial improvements to how long your device can stay on. One other reason that may not be so common to upgrade is to get a brighter, crisper display resolution from your new phone. The new iPhone 11 Pros, for example, come with a 2 million to 1 contrast ratio and can be as bright as 800 nits in direct sunlight and up to a staggering 1200 nits when viewing HDR content. A better resolution is just simply more pleasing to the eye and makes for content to pop with much more vibrancy. OLED panels were only introduced as of recently with the iPhone X, so there is also that differentiating factor that truly wows people who come from older iPhones with LCD panels, and if taken advantage of correctly, OLED can help you save battery by opting to use dark mode and other dark wallpapers. Here's a chart of all the specs of all the iPhones from the 6 up to 11 Pro Max with screen resolution, display sizes, and everything else related to the display technology. You'll notice that the older OLED iPhones are pretty similar in terms of display technology with slight improvements over the years, but man, once you go OLED, you really can't go back. The difference between the 11 Pro display and say an iPhone 8 LCD display is night and day, and even the XR or regular 11 display compared to the gorgeous Super Retina XDR display is quite a stark difference. Those are all the major reasons to upgrade your phone: battery, cameras, better chipset, and display, but every new release comes with a plethora of new features as well. For example, the new 11 Pro line can now be submerged up to 4 meters of water for up to 30 minutes, up from 2 meters on the XS line, or a massive improvements over really old iPhones like the 6 because those aren't water resistant at all. Accidentally drop those older models in the toilet? Good luck with that. The first iPhones to feature water resistance were the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus, being rated at an IP67, while the new iPhone 11 Pros are IP68. Other obvious upgrades to features include faster Face ID versus Touch ID, wireless charging beginning from the iPhone 7 up, spatial audio on the new 2019 iPhones, fast charger in the box on the 11 Pro line finally, which is extremely handy as a 20-minute charge from 0% can land you at about 38 to 40% battery, and is super useful when under tight time constraints. Faster Wi-Fi download speeds, the removal of 3D touch with haptic touch, which some would argue, including myself, is a downgrade. Man, I miss 3D touch so much. iOS improvements, and so much more. And lastly, the ultimate deciding factor that I will end this video with: price. pricing of smartphones, particularly iPhones, have seen massive spikes in price in the recent years, with the most expensive 512GB 11 Pro Max coming in at well over $1,500 after tax, and even more if you decide to add Apple Care. Spending $1,000 plus last year on the XS and another $1,000 this year is a tough call to make, especially if on a budget or if you have plenty of other responsibilities. Growing up sucks, I know, which is why I hope videos like these help you make a better decision when deciding to upgrade or not. Are the incremental upgrades worth it? Do you really need that new iPhone, or can you hold off another year, save $1,000 plus, and see if the next iPhone is worth it or not? I remember a time when, here in the States, you would only pay $200, sign a 2-year contract, and the price of the iPhone would be subsidized through your carrier. Done deal. We took that for granted because now phone companies and carriers transferred over that cost straight to the consumer in a very clever marketing tactic where we just pay $20 a month or just pay $25 a month and just add that cost to your bill. $20 a month? Easy, or at least that's what they want us to think, but in essence we're paying the full cost of our phones over a span of 2 years or more. This is why upgrading your phone is a huge investment, since we all should be a little more financially savvy and really take a close look at where our money is going. Do not upgrade to just stunt that you have the new iPhone. Trust me, man, it's not worth it. However, if you do have the money to blow, by all means this video is completely useless for you, so just go ahead and upgrade. You do you, man. Well guys, I hope this video helped you all make that decision. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and definitely check out my other videos for similar content just like this one. For those that stuck around for the giveaway, I'm glad to announce that after reaching 10,000 subscribers, I decided to host my biggest giveaway yet. The grand prize is an Apple Watch Series 5 in aluminum that is available to everyone to enter, regardless of where you live in the world. All you have to do is simple. 1. Subscribe to TheJuan&Only with bell notifications. 2. Drop a super heavy like on this video. 3. Head over to my official iPhone 11 Pro review, which I will attach a card and video link in the description, and let me know who your favorite musical artist is of all time. And make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter to always stay in the loop with channel updates, news, giveaways, and polls so you can vote on what video you'd like to see next. The giveaway ends October 20th, and the winner will be announced on a YouTube live stream, so make sure to stay tuned for that. That's been it for me. We still have plenty of videos to come, and with it being Techtober, I'll be extremely busy pumping out this content for you guys, so let me clock out for now, but I'll be catching you all real soon. Peace.